All right, welcome back, everyone. We're coming out of the executive session. Are there any items coming out of the executive session?
Yes, I'd like a motion to increase wages by 4% for cost of living adjustment and increase wages, merit increase based on individual evaluations.
Thank you.
So moved.
All right, thank you. Howard proposed it. Pat made the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Call the vote. Mr. Idle,
Yes.
Mr. Bates,
Yes.
and Mr. Preston.
Yes.
All right.
Before we go on, in looking at those wages, I don't think I just saw today some retailers offering $18.50 starting wage now. I'm concerned our wage scale, we're not going to be able to retain our well-trained and excellent staff. Can we put together, maybe after the first year, a new look at where our wage structure needs to be relative to others out there? Is that doable?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So, and because the item of proposed compensation ranges is on the agenda and it calls for a vote, do I have a motion related to proposed compensation ranges?
Yeah, in my business, I'm getting people approaching my people from all kinds of different industries that, I would not normally think of as a competitor. So, I mean, training people is, you pay 10 times as much for an untrained person. Because just things, they don't know their job. It takes years to get people trained. So I think retention has to be our number one objective, especially with the talent you've got.
Right, thank you, Pat. So I will entertain a motion to table the proposed compensation ranges at this time, and we will come back to the board with a presentation.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bates?
Yes.
Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Next up is resolution number 3121, 2022 appropriations resolution. I turn over to you, Jen. Let's read the memo. So,
Thank you. The 22 appropriations is also following the legal level of budgetary control that was presented earlier for the final 2021 appropriations. Also within the budget is several items that will assist with financial stability of the district on the short and long term. And they are detailed in the memo and include a $150,000 pool divided among departments for contingencies. And as we are, becoming fiscal independent, working with new accounting and things, definitely in 22, we're going to be learning a lot in how our spending looks and reporting on that spending. So this is just, again, it's a contingency. It's not to be spent unless needed, and this will help with the number of budget amendments that come before the board throughout the year, because it's money and we won't be like shuffling between accounts. Also is the beginning of a set aside for 27th pay, and this is something that can catch organizations off guard when they don't prepare for this. Our payroll is about $100,000 each pay, and our last 27 pay was last year, and so we needed fund balance in order to make up that extra $100,000 if you don't prepare for it. So this is just starting to set aside $10,000 each year. 27 pays happen about every 11 years, so it's just getting to that point and having that money set aside. What we are doing this year is there is a retirement reserve fund. So one of our funds that the district has, and transferring those monies into the general fund for separation payment. So instead of doing transfers between funds, it'll all be within the general fund. So taking that fund, putting it in the general fund. Right now it's about $74,000. So when an employee terminates public employment, typically there is sick and vacation payout. And so it's really difficult to budget for. You really don't know who's gonna leave, you don't know what their banks are. So having this set aside won't impact the salaries budgets for departments, so it's having this pool. The other two is a set aside for insurance claims, and this is just a good financial practice that, you don't want to spend these funds, but you want to have them just in case. So it's appropriating the funds as needed in case there are insurance claims or deductibles that need to be paid. And then finally, the Ohio Revised Code 570513 permits budget stabilization accounts, which is known as a rainy day fund. So it's not to exceed up to 5% of the general fund revenues from the prior year. The $250,000 is below that 5% mark, but it's just to start having that set aside. So just keeping in mind that these different pools of funds are there just in case, and having them appropriated just in case they're not necessarily going to be spent. So these are just financial best practices that hopefully the commissioners will agree with and allow going forward. Thank you.
With that, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3121, the 2022 appropriation resolution.
So moved. Support.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Jen?
Good job.
Yeah, good job. Thank you, Jen. Go ahead and call the vote. Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mr. Eibel?
Yes.
And Mr. Bates?
Yes.
We'll come back briefly to Commissioner's time.
I just wanted to take a moment and congratulate and thank the staff that did a tremendous job. A couple of highlights here. There's 1,091 programs as part of this year put out by the staff. 34,140 people attended. The most attended program was at the Job County Fair, 13,318. We all heard throughout the year the capital improvement projects. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but the total tally of that cost was $3,795,360. Staff was able to get grants of $1,332,340. 35% of our major projects were paid for by grants by the staff. They weren't reached out and got that. I think that's tremendous. I think they owe a great deal of thanks.
Awesome job.
Rangers had 1,160 incident reports, traveled 138,000 miles, 190 hunters hosted by the Rangers for the controlled hunts, 134,875 were private donations this year. Total visitors, 371,038 to the car counts. I think the number of people coming through here and the staff handles all those and the Rangers. I just want to thank everybody. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate this board. We appreciate your support. It's great to work with, and staff really enjoys what they do, and it shows. So thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to you as well. With that, we will move on to the announcement of the next board meeting. Is Tuesday, January 18th at 8:30. We typically hold Mondays, but Martin Luther King Day, we're fortunate to get it off on the 17th. So Tuesday, January 18th at 8:30 a.m. Does that work for everyone?
Yes.
Very good. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Bates?
Yes.
Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mr. Eibel?
Yes.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
Barb, do you want to